Good evening. With the Guyana Learning Channel's News in Capsule for Friday, November 12, 2021, I am Kingsley Bryan. Here's a look at some of the top stories we will be covering this evening. We'll tell you that President Ali meets with Qatar executives. Numerous opportunities for growth and development, says the president. And Natural Resources Fund now holds $534 million. Fund remains untouched with no outflows recorded. Also, CJIA staged full medical emergency exercise to ensure the entity's readiness for challenges of COVID-19. Then, all stoves ignite for Guyana Restaurant Week 2021. 22 restaurants to give, eat, explore, and repeat experience. And in news from the region, you'll hear 11 Caribbean nationals receive scholarships, tourism scholarships to serve as skills enhancer. And on the international scene, NASA says moon landing further delayed. 2025 set as new deadline following Blue Origin litigation. And now for the news in detail. President Dr. Irfaan Ali, along with a high-level government team and several private sector heads, met with two executives from the Qatar Investment Authority, QIA, Mr. Abdul Hadi F.A. Al-Hajri and Mr. Danny Farah Nakul on Thursday afternoon at the office of the President of Shiv Chandapal Drive. President Ali told the gathering that the meeting was critical and can open up many opportunities for cooperation between the government, the local private sector, and QIA. He highlighted his government's desire to make Guyana the hub for agriculture and food security within the region, and further afield, while pointing to the numerous opportunities in other sectors that will promote the overall growth and development of Guyana. The high-level government team featured Senior Minister within the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa, Minister of Natural Resources, Vikram Barrett, Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Unej Waldron, and Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar. Also present were President of the Guyana Manufacturing and Services Association, Mr. Rafiq Khan, President of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Timothy Tucker, President of the Private Sector Commission, Mr. Paul Chown, President of the Aircraft Owners Association, Mr. Gerald Gavaya, and President of the Guyana Oil and Gas Energy Chamber, Mr. Maniram Prashad. And the Natural Resources Fund now holds some US $534 million as its current balance, according to the Ministry of Finance's October 2021 report of the National Resource Fund. The statement shows that the net balance as of October 31, 2021 stood at US $111 million, with no outflows from the fund into the consolidated fund. At present, the government is actively pursuing amendments to the laws governing the Natural Resource Fund as a means to safeguard and insulate it from political manipulation. In keeping with the government's commitment to accountability, no money has been withdrawn from the fund, currently sitting in the United States Federal Bank. Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Barrett had anticipated in September that Guyana would see more than $500 million in the fund by the end of the year, further advancing the country's economy. His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali had also affirmed that transparency and accountability will be the tenets of the fund. Once the legislation for the Oil Wealth Fund has been improved, expenditure must be approved by the National Assembly. Further, the head of state said the government would soon be creating a balance sheet, which the public could view online and be kept informed of the revenues and expenditures. Meanwhile, in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Cheddi Jagan International Airport, the CJIA, on Wednesday, staged its first ever full-scale medical emergency exercise, geared at accessing the airport's response capabilities. The exercise was carried out also to ensure the entity remains prepared to combat all challenges associated with COVID-19. The airport's Director of Operations, Andre Kelman, explained that Wednesday's exercise was the first time a medical simulation exercise was done. He said the airport has the required number of response staff, which entails 42 firefighters, 2 police officers, and 3 medical personnel. The full-scale exercise was introduced in 2002 as part of the International Civil Aviation Organization, the ICAO, tool that guarantees the safety, regularity, and efficiency of the airport. On November 1, 2019, the last full-scale exercise tested the airport's capability to respond to an aircraft accident, which involved approximately 300 persons. This year, the airport decided to conduct a medical emergency exercise, which saw a domestic carrier landing at the CJIA with passengers who fell ill during the flight. The exercise included the Guyana Defense Force, the Guyana Police Force, the Guyana Fire Service, the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, the Diamond Diagnostic Center, and the Airport Aviation Security Department. The airport conducts several other simulation exercises year-round to prepare for any unforeseen situations. And we'll tell you now, Eat, Explore, Repeat is the theme under which 22 restaurants will be observing Restaurant Week, which is scheduled for November 12 to November 21. The exciting week of culinary skills was officially launched on Thursday by Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Unej Waldron, at the Hard Rock Cafe at Movietown on the east coast of Demerara. Minister Waldron said culinary experiences are important to Guyana's tourism product, noting that tourism is currently the 3rd largest export earner outside of oil and gas and gold, which means that it is a sustainable way in which Guyana could continue to earn income even after oil and gas is gone. Minister Waldron added that, open quote, "we have the talent," end of quote, alluding to instances where local chefs train local indigenous women in Marikabai and Synth Cuthbert's mission to provide exceptional culinary experiences. The tourism minister said that local establishments have been doing a tremendous job and urged restaurateurs to continue to uplift their standards and provide exceptional service. Restaurant Week is sponsored by LEHR Inc., President Bear, Guyana Tourism Authority, and Republic Bank Limited. And turn our attention now to the world of sports. Australia was able to bounce back from what seemed a sure defeat to beat Pakistan by 5 wickets in another nail-biting men's T20 World Cup semi-final. The Aussies needed 20 of the final 10 balls. Matthew Wade was dropped by Hassan Ali before hitting the next 3 deliveries for 6 to complete a stunning pursuit of 177 in Dubai. Australia had been struggling at 96 for 5, despite an aggressive 49 from David Warner, before Wade and Marcus Stoyanis grandstanding finish. Wade smashed an unbeaten 41 off only 17 balls, while Stoyanis finished 47 not out off 21 balls. Their remarkable partnership of 81 in 6.1 overs took Australia home with an over to spare. Australia and New Zealand, neither of whom have won the T20 World Cup, will meet in the final in Dubai on Sunday at 10 hours. And that story was extracted and modified from the newsroom. And in news from the region, the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association Education Foundation, the CHTAEF, and the Les Roches Hospitality School announced on Friday that 11 nationals from across the region will be receiving a scholarship to improve their skills. More than 150 applicants submitted their names to be considered for the scholarship. The 11 candidates will receive a joint scholarship from CHTAEF and Les Roches that covers more than 75% of the program costs. Les Roches also offered a 50% bursary to an additional 13 candidates whose qualifications and potential could not be overlooked by the evaluation committee. Atlantis Paradise Island in the Bahamas and St. Lucia's Ladera Resort and Bay Gardens Resort will add to the roster of scholars by supporting additional candidates for the program in the future. The Sandals Foundation has committed a US $10,000 donation towards the overall sustainability of the program. Caroline Chubutskoy, chair of CHTAEF, said the foundation was delighted to live up to its mission to improve and elevate the quality of tourism professionals through education and training. The scholarship awardees are Anguilla Jamil Rochester, Antigua and Barbuda Kathy Samuels, Aruba Michael Gojdar Bukuti, the Bahamas Dorothy DeVoe, Bermuda Kevin Gibbons, Guyana Gavin O'Brien, Jamaica Stephen Fagan, St. Kitts and Nevis Shelda Webster, St. Lucia Lucia Polion, Trinidad and Tobago Curtis Lee, and he will be attending the Beaches Resort. And that story was extracted and modified from Loop Caribbean News. And on the international scene, the highly anticipated landing of the first woman and the first person of color on the moon will have to wait, due to delay caused by litigation with Blue Origin, as well as other factors, including the pandemic. The earliest return of NASA boots on the lunar surface through the Artemis program won't take place in 2024 as expected, said NASA Administrator Bill Nelson on Tuesday. Open quote, "We've lost nearly 7 months in litigation, and that likely has pushed the first human landing likely to no earlier than 2025, Nelson said during a press conference. And the Chinese space program is increasingly capable of landing taikonauts on the moon, much earlier than originally expected, Nelson said, although he did not identify the original expectation. It's highly possible that China could land on the moon before return by US astronauts, according to Nelson. The Blue Origin litigation has its roots in a choice made by NASA this year. Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk each want their own companies to be at the center of NASA's plans to return astronauts to the moon. But NASA only has enough money for one of them, and it went to Musk's SpaceX to build the human landing system. Blue Origin, Bezos' space company, has fought that decision ever since, saying NASA unfairly favored SpaceX and that the space agency would be better served by funding both SpaceX and Blue Origin's plans to develop vehicles capable of landing on the moon. A decision by the Court of Federal Claims on Friday, which ruled in favor of NASA, means that the Artemis program's progress can continue. During litigation, NASA was prevented by law from having any contact with SpaceX regarding their development of a human landing system for Artemis astronauts. However, SpaceX has continued to develop the lander on their own without any payments from NASA. Other factors leading to the 2025 delay include a lack of funding for the development of the human landing system, and the Trump administration target of 2024 human landing was not grounded in technical feasibility, according to Nelson. And that story was extracted and modified from CNN. And that's our news broadcast for Friday, November 12, 2021. Please join us for a rebroadcast tomorrow morning. On behalf of myself and technical teams, thanks for watching. Please remember to observe all the necessary precautionary methods to fight off COVID-19. And get vaccinated. It's the only known way to fight the virus. Have a safe weekend, everyone.